and as of January 1st, they're technically going to be illegal in Europe due to MiCA. And so we're going to talk about that too. But ladies and gentlemen, first, my co-host, Pedro Garcia, ladies and gentlemen. Pedro, your mic is not on.
Hey
Pedro.
guys, I hope can you hear me? Can you hear me now? Hello, it should be good. Nothing changed. It should be open. Is everything all good now? Can you hear me?
Yes, all is good now.
Alrighty then. All right, guys, good to see you. Glad to have everybody here. It is a glorious morning. Was able to take a good short on the ES, S&P 500. Bitcoin is doing its thing. I'm looking to pick up a little bit more as we see a sell-off in the altcoins, which is good for you can pick up. Remember, pay attention to the SMAs, wait for pullbacks, pick up into the sell-offs of major coins. But more importantly, dude, what is Bitcoin doing? And have you guys hit the share button yet? And the like button?
Yeah, that's what you need to talk about.
And the comment. And if you haven't done it, well, at least do one thing. Make fun of my nose or my hair, which is luscious. And my man boobs. My man boobs. I'm trying to show off for guys.
Baby face right here, ladies and gentlemen. Look at this. He's shaved. He looks like he's 12. But also, I've introduced our co-host, Pedro Garcia. On the other side of me today, our co-host, Chris Alexander of the Swamp Creature. Chris, welcome to the show. What's been happening? We heard you moved.
I moved, got married again. All kinds of stuff going on. So glad to be settled in and back. But now I am a Texan enjoying the tax-free lifestyle.
You're already more wealthy simply because you moved south.
Yeah, I delayed invoicing from clients just so they would arrive.
Don't say that. If you don't say that, you get in trouble. Shh.
We're all legal to buy to the state of Maryland.
Lucifer, the fallen angel, is checked in with us, and he said, "You said got married again." Lucifer is sad for you.
No, I'm cautiously optimistic, and I'm not afraid to commit.
There you go.
Done it repeatedly.
Well, you've got practice. Practice makes perfect. Ladies and gentlemen, Daryl Lawton, welcome to the house. Thanks for joining us. Dara, all the way from Madrid, thank you for joining us. Who else we got here? Well, that's it for comments so far. Slow Monday here.
I know, right?
Anyway,
I was going to say, not really a lot of people. By the way, to you guys that are listening, please hit the like, share button. You guys are already commenting where you guys are coming from or where you guys are going, or basically making fun of us, which is great. But also, more importantly, you can share it to the... Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Okay. To the world of craziness, which is what we call social media platforms. So, yes. And which would be the DYOR Media Network over on the Tube. Or if you want to go share it to the Musk system, please do. And or to the Rumble, which is a bunch of troublemakers, which I love. Speaking of troublemakers, what is up with Bitcoin? What is Bitcoin doing? Why is this happening? What, Chris? Tell me. Why is Bitcoin selling off?
I thought that was rhetorical. I do have a theory. I think you're seeing some into your profit taking and maybe some wash trading going on. I kind of thought that in the last few weeks of the year, based on apropos of no actual analysis, to be clear, this is just something I think, but I had a sense that there was going to be some profit taking. That would just make sense. I did it and I timed it wrong as usual. I timed it around 90, which is why whatever I do, maybe copy what I bought, but like any attempt I've ever done, like I bought XRP like its highest possible points. I thought it was going to pump the day, got relisted or whatever. Like if you could do it wrong, I pretty much do it on the day trading short-term schedule. So anyways, I think there's some profit taking, some wash trading. I think you're going to see a bunch of enthusiasm around inauguration, and so when I think it's kind of macro things, those are what would jump out at me.
I love it. I like that. One thing about XRP, and we talked about this, I've seen some profit taking here, coming back down to the 8-period moving average that we saw coming. So I think we'll probably see two areas, and we are expecting this, right? So if you were listening to the show, you would know. We should see it come back down.
What would we know, Pedro?
That it's going to come back down to the 195, 180 area. Once we put this candle in, we wanted to see it go up over the weekend. I thought we were going to see it get up to that 308, but the reality is it's showing weakness over this week, which is important, or the beginning of the week. We always talk about if it shows weakness in the beginning of the week, what will it do by the end of the week? Show strength. So we should come back down into this area.
Hey, Pedro, you got to move that over a little because we got Chris on the screen also here.
Yes. I'm in the way of everyone's profits. It's somewhat ironic.
So you can see here that I'm expecting to see this come down to that 195 area. This is a good little area, because it was a flip zone. We talk about this area. This was the sell-off area that we had. So we pushed through this. So there's going to be trapped shorters. And so a lot of times they'll go in, they'll put more shorts in, they'll drop a market, and then they'll get out. And a lot of times that's a psychological level of the 20 period moving average. And then additionally to that, if you look at your 8, our 8 should catch up around here to that weekly. So I'm looking at this as a good area to buy in again on XRP at that 195, 185 area. And I can only hope, because again, I didn't buy a lot of it because I don't believe in XRP, but everybody else in crypto does, which makes my mind boggle. I don't understand why, because it's literally anti-crypto, set in a crypto system. Down into these lower levels of that 105, 101 area, potentially we could see a pullback. I doubt that. But if it does, those are those areas that I'm definitely looking to be pulling back to where I'm going to be looking to buy.
That's really interesting. I got to ask you. So, actually, just going to talk about XRP, but of all the crypto we've talked about ever, actually, I think XRP. I just keyed on you're saying it's kind of the anti-crypto. XRP, of course, is the only cryptocurrency that cozied up to the Harris Waltz campaign. Right. They do a ton of international work, which, makes me excited in the short term. Like I'm going to sell it, but what makes you think that they're the anti-crypto, and how do you think they're sort of trying to become almost like an international payment system? I guess is the way I would describe it. But like, how do you think that? Like, what makes you say that they're
right? Let me go ahead. So one of the things
they're. Well, go ahead, Pedro.
No, okay. So one of the things I don't like the fact is that they're really pushing and trying to solidify CBDCs across the world in a way that's almost authoritarian, right? And creating the next system of a SWIFT system that we've been trying to stay away from. And additionally to that, with it, we've seen just with leadership, they're definitely more of a, as of right now, because again, this could switch in the next run for the Democrats, but what we've seen over the last 4 years plus, that it's been more of a socialist system that they're really trying to propagate, and they've forgotten about the small man, right, the working man, and trying to push their agenda, which is more of a global system. And so for me, I want to stay away from it and stay as a decentralized, I hate to say disorganized, but in a sense where people actually have real freedom. And XRP system is trying to push that out, first with the smaller countries around the world, but as that gains prominence, you'll start to see it grow. So I'm trying to cut it out of the roots first before it gets going, or at least get people to really understand what's actually happening.
Gotcha. So it is that whole alternative to the SWIFT system. I would say the brand of socialism that you're worried about, not that I like any of it, but socialism that is authoritarian, the super authoritarian socialism.
What
IMF, UN kind of globalist thing. But so let me ask then, if you had an alternative to the SWIFT system, and we know we don't want the BRICS alternative to the SWIFT system.
Absolutely.
That's pretty much bad for everybody but oligarchs and Chinese Communist Party members. how opposed are you to that? In other words, is it because XRP might have too much control of that system, and then therefore they need to barter it?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I think the idea of being able to stay within, or being able to stay within an area where I can have autonomy is something that I cherish, right? Granted, I live in America, which is very not autonomous right now. But I would say that if I do talk against a government system, right, I can be debanked, but I can get debanked in a way where now, because there's decentralized monetary systems as in blockchains, I can actually go out of it and move my money, right? And I can be free. Whereas because XRP has a system where they understand the blockchain and how everything works, they can easily cut us off right at the door. And so for me, I sit there and say, it's silly to try to promote this just for my financial gain when ultimately they could cut me off. And so this is this. And is there an alternative? Yes. It's called general blockchain and decentralized systems that allow us to be able to work. Granted, they're not perfect, but I'm willing to hold off and keep progressing in blockchain to see where we go versus saying, you know what, we need change now. We need safety now.
Yeah.
And then going over here, and then, they bring safety, but they also bring handcuffs as well.
Hey, Pedro, I'm going to add my 2 cents. I should say, Pedro, I say, Chris, I'm going to add my 2 cents to that. What I've learned from going around
this time.
What's up?
I've seen the money that Ripple has spent on lobbyists. They spend a lot of money on lobbyists in pretty much every major jurisdiction of the world, federal jurisdiction of the world. And for a long time, they were paying these lobbyists out of money they were dumping XRP token with. And that was not cool for the holders, and it kept the price of XRP down literally forever until this latest run-up. And I really didn't appreciate that because they weren't really honest with it, and their transparency was, they talk about the transparency of the ledger and all that, then their transparency of what they talk is not much at all. And in all those jurisdictions, I found them pushing for CBDCs along with Stellar doing the same thing. And I didn't appreciate that. I didn't appreciate them on one side saying, hey, we're here for freedom of crypto and everything is great. But behind the scenes, they're actually pushing for authoritarian style control of your money. And I am not into that at all. And I want to hit the pink mist button for that. Get the hat from the shelf out.
Get the hat. Get the magical hat. Sorry.
Troops.
And so I didn't like that. And so I've been very down on them for a long time. And it was to the point where I didn't think they would ultimately succeed because they'd run out of money. But unfortunately, the infinite money machine just turned on for them and 5x their holdings. And so they're going to have lots of money to go around the world and push CBDCs on. And you'll see that they'll be victorious and starting places in Venezuela and all these other countries that are like, ooh, we control everything. Excellent.
So I'm going to be a consensus builder. I'm a uniter, not a divider. First of all, I think any objective person who has a anti-authoritarian view
around the world
is a fan,
and push CBDCs on, and you'll see that. Sorry.
Whoa, that was cool. It's like I was in space.
Keep going.
CBDCs are bad. The idea, the thing that frightens me the most about them is the ability to geographically restrict someone, so they can't spend them outside of an area. Because now you say something like, "I hate Bud Light," and you're therefore an insurrectionist, and now you get tagged, because they collect everything, and now your money doesn't work outside of 6 blocks from your home because they have to, contain you, like that kind of stuff. Freaky. But it does presuppose that CBDCs are the only form of currency. So you're a few steps, but so totally there on CBDCs bad. I think they are. But I make a blockchain. I offer services on my blockchain. All right, you can argue ethically, should you be making CBDCs for governments? you're kind of like an arms manufacturer. You're like those guys sending machetes to Rwanda, right? It's perhaps not the most respectable thing. Fair. On dumping coin to pay for lobbyists, I mean, they got hammered with the mother of all lawsuits. And so I would point out they weren't buying like a different color McLaren for every day of the week. They were fighting for the crypto community with that money and some of that lobbying. Now I don't know. I haven't paid enough attention to them. I don't know how open they were about what they were doing, as you point out. But I would say, like, everyone wanted crypto to be legitimate, and that ETF got passed, and that XRP lawsuit got settled, and that meant it was legitimate. And legitimacy means you pay lawyers and you pay lobbyists. And,
there's no doubt about that.
Because you're not at the little kids' table at Thanksgiving anymore. So it's kind of a double-edged sword. But yeah, maybe we'll drag you guys over to the Swamp Creatures and talk about is XRP coming, and will it make your guns gay?
Excellent. Welcome, Alpha Wolf, to the house. The AI Alpha Wolf, the hardest working man in crypto. Thank you very much for joining us, AI Alpha Wolf.
Now, I want to talk about this one little thing, because you guys, can we create a system that is separate than what XRP is doing, right?
Sorry, I read the comment, and my wife my wife works at Kentucky Fried Chicken. Let's leave it at that. I know we have a significant holding in Kentucky Fried Chicken, so everyone, please get Kentucky Fried Chicken.
The Yum brand stock is always one to heavily invest in.
It means a lot to me, like literally.
Anyway, Fire Chicken is a meme coin project that is part of our community here.
Yeah.
Boy, I might have someone to connect you to if they get into crypto. But sorry, Pedro. Last bit. So, I happen to like. Oh.
I love it, bro. This is our community. They are raw.
If you could be a little, accommodating and friendly, Colonel Sanders may be interested in you. I really like Popeyes. And so it's a little bit of a source of tension. And like, I swear to God, there could be like a Ukrainian hooker caught in the house, and that would be better than the Popeyes wrappers. I have to hide them if I get something.
Really, I can't handle Popeyes. Popeyes kill me, dude. Like legit, like at 2 hours, man, it's like worse than me. Taco Bell. It destroys you, dude.
It's in the mail for Pedro.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the quality entertainment you get on the DYOR Media Network.
You're not entertained.
All right, Chris, I think you said you had a stop on your time in a little while. Let's talk a little bit about the crypto swamp creatures here. For those of you watching either live or on the replay here, the swamp creatures are a duo here hosted. Podcast by a duo hosted by Chris Alexander here and another gentleman by the name of Justin Wallin, and their show is distributed on our channel here, and I'm lucky enough to produce that show for them. And they started off, we'll say a couple of months ago with a follower, and then they had another follower, and then they were up to 3. And then all of a sudden it started catching on quite well. And their latest episodes are now in the hundreds of views each for their podcast, so surpassing what Pedro and I do here.
Which I love. It's the epic, because more eyeballs solves all issues.
Yep, that's right.
In their current episode, so Trump and the Bitcoin Strategic Reserve, which I might add is an excellent episode. If you've not watched the episode about that, go to the DYOR Media Network, our YouTube channel, and or a Rumble channel, and watch it. It's really good. It's really interesting in the talking about the needs for reserves and things like that. And their recent one, their teardown of the election, just surpassed 750 views, of which they're good quality views, not the come and go ones. And we're really, and the shorts that we're putting out are getting a lot of views for them as well. So we're really happy with that show coming to the old channel here, bringing some more eyeballs. but it presents a good outlet for Pedro and I to also talk about politics, because we enjoy politics. And Chris, I think in the run up to the show, you were talking about how President-elect Trump, in his former role as president, actually did a fairly decent job with his campaign promises. Can you talk more about that? Is that going to be an episode coming up of the show?
Absolutely. And to back up, we got our first hate comment. We loved it. I think they said we were smug, arrogant know-nothings. And I
thought, ooh, nice. Haters, baby.
Yeah, I got our first hater comment.
Don't let my employer find out, and we're good. And then, but yeah, it's been great, and we producing a bunch this week, and look forward to continuing. There's plenty to talk about, and yeah, the first Trump administration, right? It was deal with immigration, improve the economy, no more like foreign wars, and I forget. There's a couple things you could rattle off, and I've argued Trump's the first Arab president. He loves boisterous language that is more poetic than accurate sometimes. That's how he is.
Sometimes.
But actually, I think he used the his campaign platform as like a contract that he has to deliver on. I think that I get the sense that's his perspective. I've talked to a few people that have been in the Trump administration directly with him, and I just never got to ask that question. And anyone, maybe I will.
That gives you rights to profits.
So anyways, I think. Well, you see it. So we didn't know was this the Harris "Read in Crypto for Black Men" promise, or was Trump actually going to do something for the crypto industry? And you look at the pics that are being floated, the number of the administration officials that hold Bitcoin. It's really interesting. So I think he's committed. And I will say, on the Strategic Bitcoin Reserve, check that out. I wrote a very short position paper about something related. I can't say what it is at the moment. Something related to the Strategic Bitcoin Reserve, and it got sent by someone I know down to Mar-a-Lago Friday.
Really?
So that was kind of exciting. I'll tell you guys what it is more off, but it's going to be an interesting.
At any moment, that front door is going to bust down, and the men in the black suits are going to come marching in. Did you write that paper?
Dude,
off of his head.
Cool. Yeah, no, it's not that interesting at all. But yeah, no, there's no nothing insurrectionisty. No plans to overthrow the government. Just some Bitcoin stuff I wrote, and we'll see if it goes somewhere. And if it does, well, you'll know.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. I mean, we know that. I mean, the podcast All In, right? They're one of their main guys got picked up as the AI and crypto czar, right? And and it was really interesting is he didn't even know he was really being looked at until like they came and knocked on his door. They were talking about that, and it's, you don't know who's being, like, if you're in the industry and you are saying smart things. I was talking to a gentleman, literally, his name is Prof, or I forget his name. Prof, I call him Prof. I forget Prometheus is his name. Elon Musk literally went through, and every time he talks, he goes, "Oh, I was listening to you over here, and I was listening to you over there," and he's like, "Elon Musk, you were listening to me," type of thing. Like, if you're intelligent, you're saying smart things because they are looking for smart people.
They are, and I'll say this, and then unfortunately I have to jump. But if you look at their communication strategy, I always tell people in DC, if you need a PR firm, hire a Republican firm, because Republicans do everything wrong. And until like the body has been filmed at your feet, Democrats tend to get a pass, and that is just the nature of the landscape. Obviously, with the exception of Fox on the right, but
and Joe Rogan.
Yeah, and major networks, because actually I'll get to So what the Trump administration has figured out, and Republicans have figured out, and ironically, this was started by Obama, of all people, is ignoring the media and just pushing things out directly. So taking someone from the All In podcast makes a ton of sense, simply because they have a voice, and you no longer have to rely on these biased networks to amplify your voice.
Yeah,
I know.
Right?
I caught that too, and I was like, oh, that was a genius move.
Yeah, and they're doing that across the board. That's the interesting part, right? There's absolutely a methodology that you can see behind these picks. It's a little bit different from the past, and when I listen to the pro clutching in the Estella corridor, I'm like, I'm sorry, because government's working so great right now, we should continue with it. Like.
No, those are great. Don't you like the debt? Don't you like us being in 3 wars? I mean, 2.
Like, seriously, how could, what was the example? I don't remember who I named. I named a random comedian, Jerry Seinfeld.
Okay.
Randomly, I just picked him for no reason. Could Jerry Seinfeld possibly do worse than the past 4 secretaries of education?
It's impossible.
Or
Our guest, our viewer Lucifer, could probably do a better job.
No, he's the one who's been running it. That's the issue, right? Like, but doing what it's supposed to do, right? Just like.
Welcome Kaching to the house. Kaching, thanks for joining us all the way from Minnesota.
Like Kamala was trying to close the border. Yeah. Keep going.
So, exactly. So I like, it's sort of funny. Here's the deal. Okay, quite literally in Trump's view, we've elected a new administration, whoever it is. Same thing with the Biden administration. Yeah. We've elected a new administration, and they're going to try some stuff. Some of it's going to work, some of it's going to fail. And one, if you're rooting against this country and you're a citizen, you're objectively a terrible person. You should not want Trump administration policies to fail because you don't like Trump. That's embarrassing, people to behave that way. And on the other side, I would have loved for Biden and Harris to be right. I'm sure they did something right. I just don't know what it is. So we shouldn't root against the country. But again, so they're going to try some stuff, and it's going to work, and we'll see what happens.
I think you nail on a point. It's like if the Biden administration were doing correct policies that would actually enable the country to excel, I think half of the Democrats who voted for Trump would have voted for Kamala.
Yeah,
right? Like, we know that, right? And so, you got to go.
No, sorry about that.
Okay. So on the back end, when we see what's actually happening with now Trump, he has an opportunity here to sit there and say, look, you have, 20% of the Democrats who voted for Biden, or 10% of them, right? You have them. You've got them. Now you can win them over if you just simply do smart policies that could enable people to be able to vote for you again, right? Or your administration, i.e. Vance and maybe Kennedy, right? I mean, who knows?
Yeah. Well, I'm going to say, I'll say something that sounds stupidly obvious, but in this case, define smart. So what the Biden-Harris administration chose to do was focus on equity. That was by far and large their biggest concern, whether it was environmental, social justice, economic, or what have you. And those policies never, to my knowledge, never worked anywhere in the world. You're talking about a kind of a soft form of socialism, and that takes a ton of money. The famous Thatcher quote, about what socialism is the result of when you run out of everyone else's money, or something like that, right? So the Trump administration was just pro-economic. So if you had a Bill Clinton type, policy-wise, not personally, who ran as a Democrat, I think the Democrats had a chance, right? They used to call them, I don't know if there's any left anymore, there's a few. They called them blue dog Democrats, right? They were basically like Republicans. So, are the Republicans going to learn that lesson? Or are the Democrats going to learn that lesson? Or are they going to double down on these divisive policies that don't give economic results?
Me and Tom have actually started calling them common sense Democrats, right? Because I have a friend of mine who's a Democrat, and we argue all the time, right? Like legit, he's one of my boys, and we drink, we yell at each other, right? It's great, right? He says points that are dumb, but he also says brilliant points as well. So I'm like, dang, that's actually right. So on the same sense, I'm over here more of a libertarian, and we go back and forth, which I find totally awesome. The thing is this: he actually had to vote for Trump, literally because the stuff that was proposed in the past administration made no sense to him. He's a white male, he's balding, so he shaves his head, but he's from the ghetto. And so, blonde, white guy, blue eyes, bald hair, but he's a Democrat. And he's like, I'm being attacked by my own party because literally my skin, not because of what I believe. And it got to a point where he's just like, I can't deal with this no more. I can't.
Here's the magic. Here's the magic thing that I would love to see numbers on that note. What percentage of the party are progressive? Versus just run-of-the-mill Democrats. I think there's a huge gulf with the leadership that's gone full on crazy and your run-of-the-mill folks. So it's going to be interesting to find out.
I agree. Tom, real quick, I personally hear a ton of like we're going through a tunnel here with wind. Are you hearing that too, Chris?
I am. I'm muting myself to see if I'm positive.
Same here.
All right, I'll try and fix it.
It's all good.
I think it's me.
Yep. I just want to. So keep going, Chris. I apologize.
Well, that was really the key. So I'm very curious. What percentage of the Democratic Party are progressives?
I honestly think it's small.
I think it is too, and they're just very vocal, and they get a lot of attention from kind of an allied media. But I'll say this: if the Democrats get away from this, the progressive agenda that's guiding so much of the party, then they're going to come back and come back hard, and particularly if the Trump administration doesn't deliver. And there's some significant things to be concerned about for the administration, particularly with inflation and what's going to happen with some of the tariffs and things that may just be negotiating. We'll find out, but a lot. But hey guys, I got to run. Maybe come back in the week. We'll have you guys over on the other side, and appreciate all the support everyone's given us.
Thank you for joining us. Chris Alexander, co-host of the Crypto Swamp Creatures in Washington, D.C., maybe now Dallas bureau chief for DYOR Media.
Come on now.
I'll get in the DYOR jet, and I'll fly out for anything. Just send it for me.
We'll have the new G700 down in no time.
Yeah.
We'll just hit your expense account with the cost. That's right.
I'm already charging it to the company card. Don't worry about it. All right, thanks, everybody.
Good seeing you.
All right, thanks a lot. See you later.
Man, it sounded literally like we were going down a freaking tunnel, bro. Like, that sound that you go through, bro, by
that's the wrong button.
Oh yeah, we're space cowboy.
I have no idea why it's doing that. There we go.
Oh, that's awesome. That is awesome. Dr. Fire Chicken just posted. They just brought us Chick-fil-A. What kind of joke is this? That's funny. That's so funny. That's over on Rumble there. Shout out to our boys over there over at Rumble. All you guys holding it down. Good to have every one of you guys' views, as always. So I think what's so interesting is that he brings up, and I wish we could have had him. Oh, by the way, send me a link so I can send to the gentleman over here real quick, if you don't mind me.
I will do that. Just a moment.
Thank you. But I think what's so interesting is what our friend was talking about, and I'm glad he came on today. I'm glad he's finally freed up so we can bring him on more, is that he started hinting on towards this idea of a lot of his policies are very inflationary. And the fact that he is talking so strong, and this is the part, I'm starting to listen to his book. He's playing his book. He's saying strong things, and he's saying, look, this is what we're going to do. And obviously, I think there's going to be some negotiating in between what's actually happening. But more importantly, I think what we need to really see is if he does really push hard on these, and we see him with his tariffs, with really telling to keep the interest rate low, right? Like I think a moderate interest rate is really important for us to stay at. To drop that and tell the that the Fed to drop it could really hurt us, right? And to have this adversary role between the Fed and the presidency, right? Like he started having issues with Powell his previous time. And so I think what's interesting is to sit there and go, look, like there's certain things that we actually have to do to help kind of mitigate inflationary policies that you're trying to propose. And so I just think it's important. But if he sticks towards crypto, helps build up the GDP, and more importantly, as he's doing that, as he's building up the GDP, he can then help mitigate the debt, right? We talked about this earlier. Is the best way to actually help with the debt is make more money, pay off that, and then in additionally to that, as you're paying that down and we're making more money, it's this beautiful, almost like a currency pair trade, right? You start to have a great, instead of doing a single move, you're double moving. So instead of getting a 1%, you're getting a 2% move, a 3% or 4% move, right? That we could actually change things here. So if he was to implement a lot of crypto policy that he's trying to do, help with a lot of those companies outside the United States to come back in tax revenue, but also more importantly, industry development. And as we start to see that happening along with AI, you're going to see a amount of productivity here in the United States we've never seen since the beginning of the Industrial Revolution. And so as we start to move, now, yes, we may need a UBI, but a part of that will actually be...
We will never need a UBI, and that is a dead topic to me.
Okay, listen, let me finish, because I knew you were going to have issues here. All right, a part of the UBI is not necessarily as a basic income for the rest of your life, but to hold you over until you get into and you find a new way of working and taking what you love to do and develop yourself, right, into a new workforce. I think that's what we need to have as a UBI, right? Almost like a welfare system, but there is an actual point where it's like, okay, we give you 2 years. Here's the new education system we give you access to. Go educate yourself, learn how to code, learn how to do all these things. I think that's what needs to happen, because as AI starts to get kicking in, as we start to see a huge proponent of robotic workers starts to come over the next 4 to 5 years with Elon Musk and what he's doing with a lot of the other, like Anthropic's, Anthropic has their own robot. Your OpenAI has their own robot. This stuff is going to be progressing at lightning speed. So there's going to be a lot of things that need to happen. So I think UBI in that sense will help, but also more importantly, right, pushing these things in a way that's going to help solidify our economy instead of doing more of a inflationary policies as in high tariffs. I'm sorry, go ahead. I gave you so much. Now go ahead. You didn't hear anything else I said except for that. It's pointless.
Ladies and gentlemen, Ka-ching with the $5 super chat. Thank you very much, Ka-ching. We give you the holler and the sound effects, but that machine isn't working today. So you're just going to have to take our thanks. And once again, ladies and gentlemen, every time somebody super chats us, it goes to help and better this show. It shows the great algorithm that somebody out there is happy with parting with their hard-earned money and putting it in Pedro and I's pockets. That tells people there's good content going on. And Ka-ching, thank you very much. Pedro, I just let you run with that. As soon as you came on today, you had lots to talk about. You were all bottled up and stuff like that. And I'm like, uh-oh, he's got a lot. And we got going with Chris and policy talk first. So that woke up Pedro's mind. And Pedro, like probably twice a day, he talks to me about the dopamine hit and how to engage people and all that. Pedro has got it. As soon as he was going to start to talk with Chris about stuff, it was like... You can see the RPM meter at 10,000 like an F1 car.
Pretty much, yeah.
Anyway, let's hit him up for DYOR Baby. Thanks for joining us, DYOR Baby.
Thank you, DYOR Baby.
A few minutes ago, Carmen Crypto is in the house. Good morning, Chumbalones. Thanks for joining us, Carmen Crypto. Pedro, did I solve the wind tunnel effect?
You did. So we got to save that setting because I felt like I was going into the runway
what you were
on
hearing,
an airplane.
what you were hearing is this little computer down here next to me. That's my oldest one. It's running at 8,000,000%, and it's really trying hard to do all this at once.
Oh no!
And I switched up my mics, and I forgot to turn the noise gate on, so those noises it doesn't hear out. As soon as you said that, I was like, oh, I forgot that setting.
It happens. Hey, thank
Chuck
you,
Jansen says BTC's waking up a little bit. Yeah, it's BTC's just about, it's coming over the 1 minute 200. Let's see if it breaks through that and launches upwards up to 98.8 or so, or if it's just a trick and it's going to reject down below it. I know I start to sound like Pedro here.
I love it, man. Dude, Tom's starting to get good at trading, man. I'm proud of it, dude. Like, speaking of trading systems.
Chuck's calling it No Meds Monday for Pedro.
Hey, sometimes it rolls, baby. Roll with it. Yeah. Y'all, you can however you want to see it, man. But the key point is this, and this is where I bring up, is I think there are a lot of stuff happening in the world, and it's a great time to be in. I mean, I would hate, I love it. I mean, with AI, with robots, with
there's no better time than right now, and Pedro, every human has said that ever since we came out of the cave, because every day for human beings has been better than the last. You could talk about wars and all this type of stuff. That's not the point. The point is every day humans add to their knowledge base, and we're adding to our knowledge base exponentially. Just like Dr. Chuck was talking about how fast medical knowledge is expanding. That's just his industry. I mean, every industry is doing something like that. Except for the KFC industry, which is pretty much the same.
Speaking of chickens, shout out to...
Now I'm hungry.
Now, shout out. By the way, you should be getting a connection with my boy Dan here. So he's got a network of guys that he does a lot. He does a lot of... He goes live. He's one of the guys that I actually met on the super chat or the super space that I was on this past weekend. And he's got quite a big following, and we might see his crew, and they do more of like a network system.
Pedro Kaching says Pedro may be experiencing some PTSD today from the space he was in for a bit last night.
Yeah, those dude, you were there, bro. That was trash. Like I got in there, man, and they were just being douches, man. And one of the guys like, you can't TA. I go, bro, I can TA anything. He goes, no, you can't. You can't TA anything. I think you said 250,000. I said, give me a coin right now. Give me a coin right now. Give me a CA. We can do TA as we speak right now. Call me out. Either you can or you can't. It's that simple. You know what I'm saying? Either you got a 12-inch or you don't. There's no way to fake it. Okay? That's it. Right? Can you make money on TA on something lower than that? Now, many of you guys have seen me do it, especially on a lot of the smaller communities that come in here, right? I mean, I guess the biggest one that I've called out, and I mean, and I love him, and I wish we would actually see more of the community, right? Was why is my brain blanking? The guys over there in this was crazy.
Hey, well, if you're correct, it is Meme Coin Monday. We're gonna get that. We got off track here because we had Chris on the show.
You're right.
Earlier, and we'll be moving over to that in just a moment. But this is a good time right now, Pedro, for us to take a quick commercial break. We'll be back in 2 minutes, ladies and gentlemen. are hot. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for putting up with the great advertising machine. Gotta get done, and I have to actually do more of that. Give all of you guys a break from listening to us. That's what it is. And I truly like Jesus's comment that the commercials are, ladies and gentlemen, they're recess. All right, but it's time to get back to the guts of the show, Pedro, and start talking crypto. Where are we making money? Where are we not making money? Oh, and I've got the wrong thing on here. Top screen, turn that off.
All right, so we're going to check out some good old meme coins here. So talking about GSB, our good old friends over there. Guys, remember we talked about it coming down to these, remember, and he wasn't happy with me when I was saying I'm expecting it to come down to this lower area here, if not this lower area right here. And, you know, he said, no, if it comes down there, then that means I'm a failure. And I'm like, no, bro, it just means that your chart has real buyers, right? And because your chart has real buyers and it's playing in an area where there's liquidity, that means it's going to keep doing good, right? Because you actually have a real community and it's not being botted. So I don't have to worry about getting screwed over. And sure enough, man, look, it came down to our area first, our first area. Like I said, remember, I always say buying like at 20, 30% at this level, and then that lower level, always buying, you know, where you want to put your bag in. Right. And so you can saw that it pushed up from here and came back down, tapped down into our area of that 50,000. And now they're ranging. They went all the way up to almost 300,000 again, or 350,000. And now they're consolidating here.
Yeah,
so it's
they're
really
doing well.
interesting. Yeah. So it's like they're doing good. Whatever they're doing it right. They might get another pullback here, right here at this lower level here. Right. But then the next level, since this already traded through this, there's a lot of area. They'll come back up into this area here, but we should see it bounce back up and continue up through this area of resistance. So it's a good thing, the way it's actually happening from a charting standpoint. And I don't, you know, like I look at this as a smart thing to do, right? What you're doing. So I think it's just, they're not doing bad, they're doing good. So that's one thing. Let's check out a couple these other ones here. And I mean, I'm gonna, you know, it's gonna probably piss off a little bit of some of our guys. RET here, this hurt us, right? So RET definitely kind of gone sideways and kind of died here. It's staying below that 8-period moving average. I'm not gonna be long here until we get down to either potentially the lows here, right? Which is gonna be right here. I might pick up some right up in these lower levels here, right, for us. For our system, you know, and if it livens and it gets taken over by community, right, that really is going to start pushing again, then, you know, I love to see it go from, you know, 9 to 19,000, potentially back up to that 10,000 market cap. You don't know, you know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna buy in. If I put in $10 here or $20 here, and I get, you know, literally a 100x, it's not a bad day. Yeah. Yeah, he is. You can see that was oh, to the big. Yeah, a little shout out. Yes, that man, he knows how to shill better than dude. His slight shills are like jackhammers. His slight shills are like giants walking through. What was Gulliver's? What was that city? Yeah, remember in the tiny little I forget, what was the city of it? Anyhow, the reason why I bring that up is when Elon Musk shills quietly, it's like that man trying to quietly walk through, right? Like it's insanity. All right, so let's check out also the emotional pickle here. Emotional support pickle. Alrighty then, and something is going on here. Oh, I know. Okay, boom, price. Alrighty, so it looks like you guys had a huge sell-off here. You guys are showing some strength, which is good here. What is the market cap? So market cap is under 60,000 here, which is nice. This nice. And you got 33,000 in liquidity, which is nice. I mean, that's a 50% liquidity there. So that's pretty good. Shout out to you guys. Okay. Miss Pickle. Yeah. Really good recovery. I don't know what you guys were out there shilling and pushing, but hey, it's looking good. I want to see though some demand wicks. I want to see it kind of sell off and then push back up where I can sit there and gauge, because right now you guys are just kind of gone straight up from the low there, which is good, but it's not a like, as a trader, I don't like looking at that, right? So I want to see kind of pull back a little, see how we have a little bit of a wick right here. And you can see the market came back down and pushed back up there. So I want to see that a little, whether that's down at this lower level here where, you know, I could see it coming back down here and then catching this, right? And then watching that thing continue up, right? Because here's the thing. If you get up to your high here, your all-time high, you're going to have issues, right? With people taking a lot of profit. And so if you have people take profit here, they're going to want to see it create a new all-time high. So that's what we're looking at here. It's really important that we sit there and we see it. Here we go. Boom. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna make that red. But like ultimately, guys, it was great. You guys launched. It looks like it launched well. And let's check out your. That was the wrong one. USD market cap. Your market cap as it's moving for your chart. That's good. That's good. Okay. We're above that 8. And it's pushing up. So if you guys continue this, it'll be good. I'd rather it pull back a little and then push up for my own taste, right? But here's the other part I like to do, right? Is if the market continues up, right, and then pulls back, I would like to see that too. Whereas if we see it push up, right, and then come back down, right, I really like that. And then as it comes back down, I'll find support at an area that I can pull and get, you know, I know that it's continuing up. So those are the things I'm looking for as of this chart. But nice little launch, kind of pull back and got going again. So that does look fairly good. Really nice. All right. That was the daily chart. Yep. And here we go. Pickle for a nickel. So I could have
my microphone was off there, but that's all right.
That could pickle for a nickel. That could have a few meanings. So, good old Lucifer. There you go. Can't hear Tom on YouTube.
I had my mic off for a minute. Forgot to turn it back on. Fortunately, you're doing all the talking, Pedro. Pedro, let's bring up Baby Doge here.
All right, let's check out. I want my baby back chilies. Baby back barbecues all chilies. All right, where is this?
Baby Doge up 39% in the past 24 hours now. It's come back down a little bit. Baby Doge is now $1 billion token.
It's insanity. A billy. I remember when it was sitting at 100,000, bro. Or not 100,000. What was it? 10 mil. We were talking about it. People talked about it. Baby Doge. Sold off. Came back down. And they just been building. My boy still has his bag. Like, it's crazy.
All the zeros over here on the great graphic machine. I had to reprogram it just to be able to cram all those zeros in.
That's crazy.
Someone said SafeMoon is trading here.
Oh yeah, we're gonna talk about that.
We'll talk about SafeMoon, but where are they trading? Like, what are they trading? Just their old DeFi contract? They turned it back on?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
But sorry, someone tell us where they are.
Yeah, it's trading like legit. Give me 1 second. Baby Doge. Let me pull it up here real quick just to make sure. Yeah, these came back down, but their volume is almost as much as their market cap, which is insanity. Their BSC contract. Boom, here we go. All right, got you.
All right.
Which one is that?
Pedro, I just dropped a CA in it. We'll talk about that one coming up here. It's one of Alpha
Okay.
Wolf's.
All right.
The baby Dogecoin. God,
All right.
Jesus. Get that chart.
Yeah, dude. Look at that opportune rally, bro. That thing is look at that rally base rally. That thing, dude. This
Just one
is
tweet.
a daily chart. One daily, dude. A part of me almost wonders if that man bought in. Yeah, I wonder
Right.
if he went back to a few of his wallets and was like, I got a lot of this over here.
Just put $1 million in.
Yeah.
Oh, look, got 5 million.
I remember, man. So I remember when it was all the way back here, like, right? Like that was, I remember when this shot up. I had a buddy of mine who was like telling me, like, this was back in 2021, right? And he was like, dude, get into this. I'm telling you, this is huge. It's going to be big. And I was sitting there going like, I don't know, dude. Like, I don't know. Like, what are you talking about? He goes, I'm telling you, baby Doge. And then when it did this huge pump, right?
Yeah, I
This was
remember
the huge
that.
pump, right? No, right here. When it went from here all the way up to here, okay? And let me make sure I get the market cap because this was, I remember I sat there and I was like, I want to wait till a pullback. And come on, let's go. There you are. Boom, we're gonna do this. Boom. And it was right here. It was this big, right here, this big push up, and it came back, and it was sitting at about that 21 million. And I remember sitting there just being like, nah, man, it's done, bro. It's gonna sell off. Look, there's no demand wicks here. It's gonna come back down. And it was just, oh, I don't pull up the
Yeah, how many times I've faded on tokens like that. It pains me to think about it and not leaving a moon bag in.
I could have just left a moon bag. That was it. Just left a moon bag. That was it. Boom. It could have been just that simple, right? And here's the thing. Came right back down to that 8 period moving average and was sitting there, but it broke it. So I thought it was weak. So I thought it was going to come back down to the low levels. And I think I had even put, this was Dex Screener wasn't around this time, right? I think it was Dex Tools or something like that I had put this on. And like this was the area that I said I had expected for it to come back down. And man, it came back down, hit that 8, and it just skyrocketed. I mean, it literally hit like 900 mil. And I sat there and I was like, are you serious? Because I told you, dude. I told you. I said, you did. I wasn't listening. I'm sorry. Right. And then I think he took some profit at like either this area or I think when it pushed through. He's like, what should I do? He had more money than what he even knew what to do with. Right. And at the time, there was so much volume trading in between here that it was like he easy could have. I think he got down in here as it pulled back or maybe this one right here. But it was still at 500 million, and he had bought in when it was in the hundreds of thousands. So
Yeah.
it was one of those things. You know, baby Doge now, a simple little tweet from Mr. Musk here, now just cracked its all-time high here. Okay, so this, I don't want you guys buying on this crazy FOMO. Okay, look, these are the pullbacks I expected to see it to come back down to. Okay, here we are. Pardon me, I'm about to burp. I don't want to burp you guys. Forgive me. Sorry about that. A little garlic. Too much this morning in my eggs. TMI. TMI. Sorry about that. All right. So I expect to see it kind of pull back down into that 600,000, 700,000 area, or say 650,000 to the 700,000 area, right? I think that's a good little area. It potentially could push higher, right? Because of the FOMO that's coming in, right? So if you want to buy here, you can, right? I'm not telling you this, this is not financial advice, but typically in moments like this, right, this will become, remember when Elon Musk talked about Doge and he went on Saturday Night Live and said, to the moon, right? And then
it tanked.
dropped. Yeah, it tanked. So this is where I want you guys to be careful here. This area is a good area. And then also this lower area here. Remember, this is where, was it Baby Doge that got listed on, which one got listed on a major?
And Baby Doge got listed on Binance.
That's what it was, yeah. So that's this, and I believe that was here when it did, right? This was back in September, is when it happened. So you see here that like that was that 100,000 mark area, right? And we saw it pull back here, right? Kind of go up and pull back. So you might see something similar to that, but I'd rather you guys be smart on this play than just jumping in on this big pull. So if it does, it might pull back down to these lower levels, right? And kind of be smart about that, see what happens, and see. I just don't want you guys to jump into this too quick. I expect to see it pull back. So be smart about that. I don't want you guys getting screwed over. Binance, thank you. Yes, Lucifer, thank you. You got to get another name, bro. It just sounds so crazy, dude. It's like, I love it. I
can the Bible pretty quickly, I mean,
yeah. You know what you could do? Go check out the Old Testament and start reading through some of the names there, bro. Like Jehu,
David.
that's David,
Michael.
right? David, yeah. Well, you already did Down Thomas, right? We already saw. Was it? Did you do Down Thomas? I think you already did it.
No, I'm Thomas.
Oh, Thomas. There you go. Yep. All right, that's funny. All right, so check this out here real quick. Let's pull up a couple other ones that I've been looking at. Was there any other ones you guys wanted me to check out besides the one you sent me, Tom?
The only ones I have in my book right now are Alpha Wolf's Nova Chain, and let's look at this SafeMoon thing.
Yeah. And then we're going to there's a couple other ones I don't want to check out. Yeah, Nova Chain has been killing it. Like Nova Chain has legitly been on fire. Or was it Nova Coin? Excuse me. I don't know if it's Nova Chain. But Nova Coin.
I don't know what it is actually. I should, but I don't.
It's okay. So Nova Chain here, we talked about this area here, hitting that supply. Oh, I remember this. Yes, I remember. Yep. Okay. So this was the system here. So I talked about us hitting this resistance zone of that 250,000 to 225,000. You can see it tried. Like you can see, right? It pushed up all the way up to 500,000, but it couldn't break free of this resistance before it had to pull back. So you can see it pulled back, and I could have. I'm surprised I didn't. And I remember doing the TA on the Breakfast Club. I didn't give a pullback area, and I would have put this area. And Tom, you know how I write. You know how I do my zones. So this is a typical Pedro zone right here. Right at this level, and you can see it would have come back to here. And this is the other part. I got to be very careful, and I'm very careful with this because these are communities. These are real people working really hard to push a coin, and so I hate having to sit there and give TA with these smaller coins because it most likely is going to happen because that's where the real buyers and sellers are sitting there. And so what happens is when I say, all right, it's most likely going to pull back here, it can hurt people. Like, I think our GSP friends, I think they probably thought that I maybe sold off the market until I put it down to my area, which is not what I do.
I know.
Right? Like real. Like, I don't do that. Like, I don't play like that because I myself have ran a community. I know the feeling, what it's like. So it's important for me I just want to be sensitive here. Right, because this is a real community working really hard, putting in a lot of hours to get this name out. So the resistant level here, you could see it's an emotional level, and so you can see it hit that 250,000 round number and was trying to push through it. And I said I would want to see it if it pushes through this area. And I talked about this earlier with one of the other coins, right? One of the smaller coins is push through the high. Then come here, find support on the previous resistance, And then as soon as it starts to push up, that's when I really want to talk about that, right? Of like, look, you found support, you pushed up to a previous demand supply area, and now become demand. And so that's really important. That demand means you got buyers sitting there. Then what happens is it pushes up further, and we can see the market really progress. So with Nova Chain, as I'm looking at this now, it's most likely, okay, going to hit this area right here. We came down to my area that I like, right? And I think on the breakfast show, I did say that I don't want to give a support area because I was hoping that it could blow through my TA, like legit. And so I was on the spaces saying, I'm not going to give you a bottom because at a bottom level, that means then that people might sell off purposely to it. But this was the area, and I should have put this in just for my own notes. And then, I'm glad you brought it up, Alpha. I love it, brother. So one of the things you can see here, though, is it's got to now push through that 20 period moving after, and it most likely will. It came off, came to an area of buyers. Now we're starting to see volume kind of come in, right? Even on this day, this is the part that's so beautiful. I love to see the sell-off come back, retest where these buyers at. And this part right here, you see how, okay, boom, we have a low, but it didn't go below this low. Then we started push up, put another low in, put a high in. Okay, it went higher than this, put now a low. And if we can get above that 20 period and see this get to here, then what's going to happen is either it's going to go sideways and you're going to get accumulation, or you're going to see it push up further, right? And it should supercharge this new buyers from an aesthetic standpoint, which again is an emotional standpoint. It's going to push this market higher, and we'll see it most likely push either above or near to the high. I want to see above around that 600,000 and then come back down to that 250,000 as support again. And then we do the same thing all over. That's how buyers and sellers run emotional movements. Yeah, so that's it. And I like Nova. No, I know the guys that are running this. I know that they're trying. I know that they're pushing it. So congratulations on them keeping it here and keep going. Like, keep going. Don't stop it. So that's it for Nova Chain. And then what was the other one?
Safe Moon.
Safe Moon.
I don't even. I've been sitting here trying to find the right one. There's so many of them out there now.
Yeah, just go to.
Is it the one on BNB that started trading again? If it did, it could finally bring some eyeballs back to BNB.
That would be awesome, dude. All right, Safe Moon. Looks like this one is up. So let's check it out here real quick. Boom. Oh, is it Safe Moon 2? Was it it was Safe Moon 2 or was it Safe Moon 1? Talk to me.
Definitely not Safe Moon 1.
Well, Safe Moon 1 is trading. Like, only in crypto, dude. Only in crypto could dead project.
That's on Solana, but they've never been on Solana.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Solana was invented after they got arrested, I think.
Yeah, you're right.
It's on PancakeSwap. It's on Gate.io. It's on Mexi. Yeah, I've got. I think I've got the right one here.
I sent it over, my friend. So it's number 2 then.
Oh, let me get that right window up so I can see your screen properly.
Version 2. Okay. Version 2. That's what I thought. Safe.
It's one word, yeah.
Boom. Yeah. Do doom doom doom. Do doom doom doom. Look at it. Do doom doom doom.
Now, let me see if I can get that. Safe Moon. I don't have a version 2 on CoinGecko. What's its contract start with there, Pedro?
I got 0x E or 0 lowercase X-ray Echo 5740 lowercase Charlie.
Yeah. E574. I don't know why I can't pull that up on CoinGecko. Where'd you pull them up from? CoinMarketCap?
Yeah, I pulled it up on CoinMarketCap first.
I'm just trying to get them for the great graphics machine here. And
Yeah.
the crew out there listening, we have the right one up here.
Yeah. Educate us. All right, let's go to
Roland Rod, welcome to the house. Happy effing Monday, guys, he says.
What's up, Roland? Good to see you, brother. All right, I like the little shill there, freaking. All right. Boom. Why is this doing this? Come on, baby.
Jesus, you're out there. You're still a holder of SafeMoon. Since it hadn't gone anywhere in 4 years. Let us know if this is the same one, whether we're talking about a community takeover or the new company opened up that bought the SafeMoon rights. If they are actually trading this thing again. I'm just a little confused about it, ladies and gentlemen. If we've got it, if the actual company, did they announce? Here, that contract is an ETH contract, right?
SafeMoon. The VGX Foundation has acquired SafeMoon. There you go.
Yeah, they acquired them about 2 years ago or so, but
and aims to enhance both the SafeMoon and VGX ecosystem. SafeMoon version 1 to version migration is still operational. What's he saying over here? VGX doing a testnet on their wallet now. Better stock up on your Dr. Folk2.
Okay. Yeah, I just dropped you the contract that Jesus is talking about.
All right, cool. Thank you, sir.
All right, so let me go to CoinGecko. Let's drop that contract in here.
Oh, yeah. Let's get it. Alrighty, let's pull it up here.
Only 12. Oh, it's got two different pairs, $12,000 and $31,000 worth of liquidity. God, remember they used to have $1 billion in liquidity?
It was crazy. And then people started tapping into it.
I know, they couldn't resist.
Dude,
they could not resist, those mofos.
Yo, that's like a big booty girl walking by you. You just want to say, hi, what's your name? What's up? Are you having a good day? What's going on? You want me to help carry your bags? What's going on?
There's a $19 liquidity pool, SafeMoon Baby Doge pair.
All right, so you have 31,000 liquidity at 31 mil. Let's check this out. Quick check. All the moving averages are fighting it. That 8 period is strong like bull here. I'm not seeing any real substantial volume coming in though on this chart. Do I have the right chart? Is correct?
The one I sent you is the one that Jesus is talking about. I'm all confused by this stuff.
All right, well, this is the BNB chart here. So USD right now, but you can, let's see if we can do price here real quick. Maybe okay, that looks a little bit better. Alrighty, let's do it. Let's roll here. Okay, so check this out. So it's looking like it's going to continue down. But if this thing does catch wings, okay, again, I'm not saying it is, but like, you know, Hex is trading as well as Lunic is trading, which I think is absolutely bonkers. And they're starting to catch some wings. So it's like, could SafeMoon get going again? I don't know. But here's the thing. Again, this is going to be one of those cheap plays here. At 30 mil market cap, I'm not telling you, it's not like it's sitting at 20 mil, right? There's a real company that's actually pushing this real system that's actually trying to get this thing up and running again, right? They did have some real tech. They did have some stuff going on. So This might be a Hail Mary play.
Did this go to zero right here, Pedro? Like, I'm pointing at the bottom here. Looks like they turned the contract back on or something like that.
Yeah. Give me a second.
And someone just said, I'm just taking all my money out, and it's as much as that was in the liquidity pool.
We'll check it out here real quick. Yeah, pretty much. Yep. So liquidity went down. Well, not liquidity. Price went all the way down to 4,000. Yep, absolutely. Absolutely. That's exactly what happened. Dude, look at this. Dude, this is nuts. It dropped. Okay, so there's obviously somebody pulled out liquidity and they started something new. Right?
Welcome,
and
Adam Frack, to the show. Thanks for joining us, Adam. We just spoke about Nova a minute ago. If you scroll back about 15 minutes, you'll see us talking about Nova Chain.
Oh, shoot. Holy crap. My dude. I'm sorry. My apologies. I just not sure this is something that's beneficial overall. I should have looked into this a bit before further committing to it. Sorry again for backing out last minute. It's all good. Solid. Got a quick client meeting when I tell people all the time, look, we're a talk show. We talk about real stuff. I am a trader. I do real stuff. Like, and these people are like, yeah, let's do it. And then these people, man, whatever. I don't care. It just frustrates me though. Okay. So here's the thing about this area. These pushes, these were real buys though. These are micro buys that are pushing up.
Fire chicken people are. Roland Rod, I got a question for you. Is that the mobile oil logo or a variation thereof? Chuck says, just add some LP and make some monies. Or have some asshole drain it by selling off his whale bags.
All right, so here's the thing that I bring up.
That's right. It's hard to see the Honda logo behind the pig there. Rolling around, I'm a motorcycle guy too. I currently have a Yamaha SCR 950. So scrambler right around in the city. Go ahead, Pedro.
So this is, I bring this up because you can see this thing is jumping by millions. Like this thing is like no joke. Like it's, 20%. Since yesterday, it went from 21 to 37 million. So either there's a bot here or people are legitimately buying in at these levels. And I'm curious to see what, like, did you guys get in on this? If you don't mind me asking.
I did not.
Yeah. Jesus. Or not Jesus. Lucifer. Did you get in on that? Let me know.
Roland Rod, I used to have a Honda Nighthawk 700S. It was the late 80s model. And it was awesome. When I drove it around university, had a great time with it. And just a couple of weeks ago, I saw that Honda, the new Nighthawk, is coming out, and they're going retro and styling it after the late 80s models. The 80s models were some of the best looking Nighthawks ever. And then they came up with this new swoop design that was it was just stupid. And then all of a sudden their new ones, they're like, we're going retro, and they look cool. And you're like, whoo. And the new one isn't a 700, it's 1100.
So you can see here that we're hitting the 8-period moving average here on Safe Moon here. And the area that I would look for the pullback to is right at this level here. This is going to be that 19 to $15 million market cap here. So I would expect to see this thing come back down to this level here, and then we'll see what it does there. If we start to see major volume come in at these lower levels, then it's really important to understand, like, okay, this is a real area of where buyers are sitting. So again, this is going to be almost like a moon bag in a sense, right? Take your profits once you get above to about 153 mil. Okay, it should go up, at least up to there, at that 150 mil, and then from there, expect to see at least a pullback of some sort. If not, you know, it could push higher, but make sure you take profit around this level if you do get in, right? Yeah, are you able to sell token, or what the tax on when you do? I don't know. You guys have to go and research it. Somebody just had me look at the chart here, so this is Safe Moon. Yeah, these are a little bit plays. My dad had a VMAX.
Talking motorcycles.
Yep. Boom. Yes.
Well, comment of the day. I need to invest stock in a shovel factory because the shit coins are getting deep.
That's funny. That's awesome. All right, so you guys can see Baby Doge here. Playing here. All right, so let's go ahead and pull. I wanted to pull up here X as well, because I thought this was really interesting as well. Again, these are just, I'm not telling you to put everything in this or whatever, but potentially these are just areas that we can potentially see what's actually happening. And
Hex will come right up on it.
Yep, Hex pulled right up. So Hex here, I think, was interesting, is like it's following the 8, and we talked about Hex down here. Remember when I was talking about this back in September, right? I said, guys, I want in phases. There's real volume coming in, and this is when it was sitting at that 0016 area, and I said this push, it's getting going. And so you can see how it started falling off of that 8, right? Came back down, pulled back to an area that I would definitely be looking at. You see then from here, it pushed back. It hit this supply area sitting right here. So you'd expect for this to become new support then.
No, I didn't pull up the market cap here.
So you can sit here and see this. And so it pushed through, came back down, found support again on previous resistance, and now it's continuing up. So Hex is, look, I'm a trader, right? Like that's what I do. And I know I'm not telling you guys to get into this, but this is trading right. Okay, I'm looking at this and saying, okay, look, it's following the 8, it's following resistance and support lines, and somebody is trading this. Whether I'm not telling you to hold on to this for the rest of your life. I'm saying you have a potential area where you could capture something which is super low market cap, and you could capture it potentially. If this thing starts to ascend, I'm even capturing it halfway with 7 cents. Right? I mean, that right now at a current market price of 007, you know what I'm saying? That's 10x. So, and if this thing catches wings, I mean, imagine if it gets to 18 cents and it goes to all-time high.
Well, it's not going to an all-time high, but
Listen,
wait.
Listen, there's been too many times you said it's not doing something, and it ends up doing it. So
well, remember where all the money for Hex went.
Sacrifice.
Right, and went into Richard's pockets and left. So the money's, that type of money's not coming back. And plus, he was illegally repumping it. He was taking the things that people staked, taking the money secretly out and buying it back, and so everything was pumping. So that all-time high was a total fake high. But that doesn't mean that this actual trading here that Pedro's talking about, it couldn't do an easy 5x.
Yeah,
or more. It doesn't even take that much money.
Yeah, and what is, I'm trying to see Hex's, let me pull it up here. And we'll check out Lunik here. These are all meme coins now. I mean, absolutely meme coins.
Right, totally.
So, like, again, I'm not. They were once back in the day something you could shake a stick at, right, and go, wow, that's legit. But now, not so much. But, dude, if community-owned tokens start to take over and get it going again, you don't know. Like, you just don't know. It's crypto.
That's right. That's right, my friend. It's crypto.
It is crypto. So again, either you could get got again, or you get in on it again because it's Doge. You're like, you just don't. This is the part that blows me away, right? Like, you just don't know. All right, which one were we going to look up?
Terra Luna Classic.
Oh no, I'm gonna check out Hex here real quick, and I want to see what their market cap is. It's kind of Hex. I see two of them here. All right, so I see one for 17 billion. I see the other one for 3.3 bill. If they were to get, if this one was to 5x, that would be 15 bill. So this doesn't seem right. Just be careful there, guys. But I just think it's interesting what we're seeing with these contracts. And I mean, for a trading standpoint, it's an area that you guys could be playing with and make quick cash, get in, get out. Do not overdo your stuff. Again, somebody brought it up to me and I'm just bringing it up in the back channels. All right, let's check this out here real quick. Also, let's check out Lunik, because I think Lunik has just been moving as well. Yeah, look at this right here. It's freaking nuts.
That was officially at zero.
Officially,
Yeah, that one went officially to zero. And people put some money in it. Is it do I have the right one? Is it down 10% today in the past 24 hours?
Yeah, it sold off. Yeah, absolutely. So, and it sold off at a good area, at an area of resistance. So again, like, these are the, it's being traded appropriately, right? Absolutely. There's no use in crying. Yep. Boom. So that weekly, so we'll pull back up in here because it's beginning of the week. So, and it's going down first. What do I always say? If the market goes down first in the beginning of the week, what should we expect? It to go up.
Going up.
Yeah, so let's go ahead and pull back here real quick to see what's happening. Lunik, 130, what is their contract? Actually, I have it on here, I forgot. It was a flip. All right, so you could see some major push right here as it comes back up into this level here. For Luna, I have a friend of mine who was actually in this 24/7. 24/7. Okay, so yeah, this area right here you can play off of, and then if you're looking to get back into it, I like it down at this lower level here for Lunik, coming back down to that 0001 area. If it pulls back down to here, there are definitely buyers sitting here because you had a previous high sell off, push through. So it should act as support here at this level here, where we should see it push back up again. And at the same level, you have the higher time frame SMAs. This would be nuts if this thing goes back up again. It'd just be nuts. It just, you can see that's already setting things up though. It's trading right. It's selling off at the beginning of the week. So, all right, that's it in a nutshell for that. Let's check out also the usual suspects here. Let's check out Doge here. Is Doge still a meme coin, or is it like Utility meme.
In my mind, it's still a meme coin because it's got no utility whatsoever.
I said
Yet.
potentially. I was gonna say potentially a. I appreciate it. I totally get you.
You know, Pedro,
Just
before we do that, why don't we, we're going a little long today, which is okay. It's fine. We got a little bit more time on us. Let's do the great commercial machine again. Ladies and gentlemen, stand by with us while we pay the bills, as they say. We'll be right back.
We'll be back.
Oops. All right, everybody. Thanks for putting up with the great advertising machine. Pedro, what were we talking about before we went on? We were talking about Terra Luna or Luna Classic. You're on mute, my friend.
Yeah, so we were talking about that. And the next one we're going to be talking about here is Doge. So Dogecoin is going to be the next one. Yeah.
Right. I remember now.
Yep, so Doge is showing classic sign up pullback beginning of the week, right? So this is good. So I would love to see it again come back down to that 35-cent area. And then from there, see it kind of start to take wings. And again, this is where the weekly, right? This is where it pulled back. So everybody would typically want to sell off here as it comes down. And so based off how many of the sell off will let us know how far is it going to go down. Okay. Meaning the amount of sellers coming in as we're seeing this, actually people losing, money. And so I think we could see this thing come back down to that 33-cent area here and then potentially push back up. Either 35 to 32 is where I'm looking, and then push back up. You see these big wick sell-offs, where there are a lot of people who have stops right here. So I think they would sit there and push through this area here. Here's a low right here, and I'll show you guys. So here's a low right here, a low right here, and a low right here. So for this to come down to here, take all these stops, right? And then see this thing go up from here, right? Come down and then go up from here would be something that I would sit there and see it. So something that we could be really paying attention to. And if it does, then this would be a great purchase area again.
Pedro, the great graphics machine over here is telling me that there's a $64 billion market cap in Doge. $64 billion. That's mind-boggling. It's just 1,000% mind-boggling.
Well, the thing is we were getting in on it when it was down here at 6 billion. I mean, it was in the billions down here. We were sitting at $3 to $6 billion. So you have even that right there, the $3 billion valuation at the bottom here is amazing. Yeah.
I mean, and the fact that it's getting closer to, what was his all-time high, 70 cents or something like that, or 68, 69, 70?
Which was like an $80 billion market cap. Yeah. But here's the thing. I've talked about Elon Musk as he supported Doge. Through his words, he's supporting baby Doge, right? So it makes sense. He has a company that's worth trillions of dollars market cap wise, right? Like, I would think that because he's out here supporting it, he might want to push us to $1 trillion. I mean, if he can, it makes sense to me. What is the market cap? I forget what the market cap of Tesla is right now. Let me pull that up here real quick.
Oh, it's got to be 500 billion, 600 billion. Thank you to all our viewers for sticking around with us today. We've had a good show. Had Chris at the beginning. Chris Alexander from the Crypto Swamp Creatures on the show. Giving us a rundown what's going on with them. Their show is banging it right now on the statistics.
And they're going to keep growing, man. I mean, they're great guys, and I expect them just to keep jumping and growing. I even said, I remember telling Tom, I say, dude, this is going to just explode once they get going, and all of a sudden, eyeballs will not be an issue for that crew, and it will be beautiful. It will be beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Let me jump here real quick. What market cap for Tesla? Give me 1 second here. Lucid Group. Market cap. Yeah, 1.25 trillion. That's what I thought. Or around. I knew it was around 1 trillion.
No problem.
Well, yeah. Well, remember, at its all-time high, I think it was 2 trillion.
Oh, come on.
2 or 3. No.
That's crazy talk.
Are you serious? I mean, are you messing with me?
No, but I mean, they were the number one valued company in the world for a while.
Yeah. Like they were beastly. And I don't
money machine.
Tesla. Remember, guys, when I said this was back in the beginning of last year, and we started to sell off when Tesla started to sell off at $100. I thought we were going to come back down to about 75 because we had a big old gap. Remember this? It's the beginning of the year, last year. And we started selling off. And I said I would buy some. Right? It was like $100. And the thing is, they have earnings. Their earnings are bomb, right? Like you can get rich just off of buying Tesla, right? So you go in and then right here, it pushed up, it came back down. And I said, guys, we got an area right here. It's a weekly area. Be looking to be buying at this level. Boom, it comes back down to this level here. And then it shoots back up, right? That was that 160. I came back on back in April, and I said, guys, it's coming back down to the area here. Expect it to come back up.
Amazing.
Right. Sam, remember same thing with Facebook. We talked about Facebook as well.
Oh, I remember you calling that one. And to be honest, I just, they must have such amazing business-to-business sales of the data that they get on people. And that's got to be some kind of public number that they had to disclose somewhere. I mean, people must be gathering unbelievable data on us, and what they can sell it for is just billions of dollars. You know?
Well, absolutely. Because here's the thing, like if you can, I think I'm a hard guy to advertise for, right? Because I'll sit there and look at the advertisements and go, this is BS. And I'll just stop because I want them to advertise. If they're going to advertise me and I can't make money on it, at least I want to see things I really would want to buy, right? Their time is ending because sooner or later, I hate to say it, but with a lot of the decentralized systems, hey, yo, can you send me your...
We just spaced out there. Right in the
I'm
middle
sorry.
of a sentence.
I'm sorry, forgive me. I'm sorry, that was crazy. So one of the things that I think is so important, and I'll put it like this, if they're going to sit there and they're going to advertise them, they need to be good. But it's also getting to a point where we're coming into the digital age. My shoes are going to be making me money. Right? Their time of, okay, I'm going to post something on the internet here and get them to come and buy this. It's going to get to a point where because of my wallet and what's going on and who or where I want to buy stuff, or let's say I don't necessarily like Nike, but let's say they have a bomb high top that I like. I'm like, you know what? I want to buy this, but I'm going to go to a thrift store and I'm going to pick it up over here. I'll wait, and sooner or later, they're going to go through. They're going to attach smart contracts. So when you walk into an area, we all know Fetch, right? This is Fetch's system, right? They're going to have an area, Pokemon Go, basically created a system for people to go and travel anywhere in the world. And this data mining that they developed, right?
It was genius.
Brilliant, by the way.
It was just genius.
Gamified it all, killed it, and then said, because they know their time is ending. The Web 2 time is ending. And so if I'm going to be a part of your system, you're going to have to pay me. And so this idea of going through and creating, we've talked about on our show here, you're going to have your personal brand, your personal coin you're going to have it. And I kin it because there's nothing really out there like it right now, but I kin it to the social system that's in China. Okay. But theirs is more of a like dystopian side of it. Whereas I believe what's coming is that each person is going to have their system. Mine and Tom's show here, because we have eyeballs, we will be able to sit there and say, we want X amount and we want you to do this. And you're going to pay us this. And that's coming. And they will pay us in our coin, meaning they will put USDT or whatever into our coin and push up our chart on our personal brand. And you look at that and you go, what are you talking about?
I agree with that. It's coming. Well, this is what I was having this discussion in another forum, and it's talking about too legit to quit's version of your personal AI and all that type of stuff, and and then that combined with other things that represent you online. Other companies are going to come about and rate these profiles with big data knowledge. Like, yes, this is a legitimate profile. This is a real person. In fact, it's Tom. And so we give it a rating of F. No,
it's going to be grade A, baby. Go ahead.
And Uber or other organizations are going to say, all right, well, everyone, because we've switched to using your personal, NFT as payment method, or as your identity. They're going to say we're only taking people with higher than B, or we'll just use 1 to 100, higher than 80 ratings, and that eliminates all the riffraff from the neighborhood, and that type of stuff. And all of a sudden you realize we've inadvertently created China's credit social score system, and it's going to happen, and it's not going to happen because the government said it has to happen. It's going to happen because the market developed it. And people went with it, and that's going to be a tough one for people to deal with, as companies say we're discriminating against people that have low ratings, and then that's going to open up a whole can of worms about, well, can companies do that? And companies are going to say, well, we don't want scum of the earth, and then they're going to say, well, then it's going to get into the whole race type thing real quickly again, and companies are going to say, okay, well, how can we keep lousy people out of our Ubers because the lousy people tend to put guns at the guys' heads more often.
Yep.
And so it's we're going to inadvertently create the credit score system here real quickly. And my guess is this time next year, it'll be starting.
But here's the thing. I think there will be a way for you to opt out of it. Whereas with their system, you can't opt out. And if you want to be a part of it and do good things, then you'll be able to be part of it. Right? Like me and you will be a part of it. We'll sit there and we'll be able to sit there and play because we don't do stupid things. Right? Or at least
usually.
I was going to try to do stupid things. That's actually matters. But I think that's one of those things that is super important to understand as we move forward, especially as we keep moving forward here, that your personal brand as a person, as a worker, if you're a really hard worker, you're going to have dope statistics. Hey, look, my statistics are here, right? My coworkers like working with me. In addition to that, my bosses like me because I work my ass off. So my personal brand is this. I tell the truth. I'm honest. I show up early, right? And all of a sudden, it's if I have to sit there, because the government mandates my a company that I'm applying for to actually hire people, right? Because they now have autonomous AI workers, robots, right, that are going doing the work. Well, I'm an honest guy. I can work with them and we can keep things going, right? Versus somebody else who has been a bad worker. They like to talk smack. They don't do, they're not attention to detail. Well, guess what? That will show in your ducats. And I think that's, yes and no. It's a good thing and a bad thing. It's a social credit score, but it's not because you have that option whether you want to be part of it or not, in a sense, right?
Chuck, thanks for joining us today. He's off to mine the fiat. Don't let the boss whip you into working too much. Fire Chicken says he's off to save the world as well. Because they're such different people.
Save it, baby. By the way, did you clear out the DYOR Media striking SmackDown stuff?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Did you clear out the pinned messages?
Nope.
Do we have 597 members? I'm looking at this right now. Because I'm looking for, Carmen just sent me a thing of sent her the Crypto 101 stuff. And I'm looking for, and I can't, looks like somebody cleared it out.
The Crypto 101 is still pinned in my.
Oh, that's interesting. Can you send that to her by chance? Just copy paste it or just tag her in it. Actually, no, I'll just do this here real quick. I just realized it. Carmen. Boom. Okay. That'll be easier. Sorry. Okay. So, I just think it's coming, and it's not, I don't think it's going to be a good thing or a bad thing. I think it's just going to be another system for people to look at and go, hey, let's come together and work really hard and not create a dystopian world, but in a world where, it's a merit-based system. And those who can't contribute to the merit-based system, we need to figure out a way to help them out, right?
There's an island called Australia, and we put them on a ship, and off they go. It was very successful for England. They cleared out all their deadbeats and their debtors and all that. Very, very successful. Put them on a 9,000-day cruise, of which not all of them made it there.
Dude, you talk about atrocious, bro. The ancient world. The ancient world, even up to 200 years ago, bro. It's crazy. And as Chris said today, and you said today, the world is getting better incrementally, right? The fact that
every day.
Yeah, if you can go and you can legitly put your food into a thing called the refrigerator, that is monumental. People do not realize how big of a deal a fridge. I don't care how jacked up it is, if it's an old one or an old one or a new one, right? It is phenomenal that you can actually keep your food from like spoiling and getting all jacked up for weeks at a time. AC is a big deal. Heating is a big deal. Like that, those just three things right there revolutionize the world. Huge. Hugely.
Pedro,
Bigly.
I had been wondering where these people had been, but today we got all the way towards the end of the show and got our spammer on kick.
Oh,
Hello,
nice.
great streamer. You stream so really well. That's why I followed you. I do see you streaming a lot. Blah, blah, blah. Come join my Discord. Oh, wait, this one just wants $1,000 per stream, and you're blah, 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 blah. Thank you very much, but we appreciate the engagement. Keep that engagement over there on Kick. And I don't know, I think we've had 20 viewers over the past 6-7 months, so thank you very much. But I keep at it. You never know, you get a couple of good people over there.
You never know.
Carmen says, thanks, Pedro. Thanks, Tom, adding this to my site.
You're welcome. You're welcome. I'm going to be doing a Crypto 201, Crypto 301 as well. So figuring out how to take care of some stuff personally so then I can really start adding on to that and we can walk people in and I can just update it. So as we go from bull market to bear market and new developments happen, we can keep that up to date and show people how to really kind of traverse I don't think this bull run we're going to see a major adoption. I think we'll see probably another 10-15% of the populace in America. I think it's going to be the next bull run because most people will be like, it's Trump. But then once the Democrats step in and really start to promote crypto, because they're going to have to do that to win elections, I think we'll see some big adoptions probably in the next bull run, which is going to be 4 years from now. So good times. Good times. Yeah, baby. Yeah. All right. Sorry. This was being a goofball. Okay, bro. So what else do we want to go over here real quick? Oh, let's go to Shiba Inu and then we can call it quits here because it is 2:30 here. So, and let's check it.
I just realized we totally forgot to talk about Pump.Fun and stuff, so we'll do that tomorrow.
Oh, we totally didn't talk about Pump.Fun. This is true. All right, so Shiba Inu finished off last week into a green. We came down into not quite our area. So frustrating. All right, so it came down almost to our area. Saw it push back up. We saw it finish green, which is nice. And then you can see last week we had a bit of a sell-off, and then it pushed back up. Now we should see something similar, right? Again, similar to what we're talking about. A bit of a sell-off, come back down. Now, I'm going to keep this here, but I'm going to remove this here real quick. And no use and cry. Dang it, dude. I'm sorry. Sorry, guys.
First, I ran the Shiba in the great graphics machine, and it came back PopCat. I don't think that's the right one.
PopCat. That's another one that's been popping. Like, or slapping. What's a cat slap? Dude. That one flew too. Those are some ones we'll be going over tomorrow. Cat slap, PopCat, and then cat with cat with hat, which has been looking something promising, and a few other ones. So long story short, you can see it's coming back down to that 2.8 area. I'm waiting for that. It's the new area, and potentially that 402. So 4028 to the 4026 area. I like this area. It's a previous high. We should come back down, find support here, and then start to climb back up to the next level, up into this level here. That's going to be that 403911-ish area. Yes, sir. That's it. That's it in a nutshell.
Mike says he wants some of those 10 billies.
Right? Some of that 10 billy, baby. That's what I'm talking about. Up into the 10 billies.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we've been on long enough here today. Get those kick tracks playing. Pedro, you cannot hear that, I would imagine.
Nope.
And frankly, it turns out neither can I. Better turn the volume up on those. Ladies and gentlemen, we had a good show today. A little bit longer than usual, but that's all right. Pedro and I can go 6 hours, no problem.
And now you even have a pause. That's the part that kind of blows me away. I don't even get it. I'm like, how does this happen? See, it's because we're friends and we actually like each other. At least I think I like you. I don't know if he likes me. Sometimes I'm like, hey, I think Tom's tired of me.
Oh, Pedro, we're in love.
We're in love. But what I'm saying though is that's what happens. It's when you get a couple friends that hang out and then all of a sudden they just get on a show and they talk crypto. That's it. Yeah, baby. Yeah.
Thanks everyone that showed up today, including Heavenly D or Heavenly 20 on Kick, Crypto Mike, Fire Chicken, Rollin' Rod, Alpha Wolf, Lucifer, Carmen Crypto,
Miss Crypto,
Adam Frack from the Nova Group. Thank you very much for showing up. Let's see what else we got here. We got all sorts of Lucifers. He was the prolific poster here today.
Yes,
he ran the buffer out on my comment machine. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let me find the goodbye credits here. Thank you very much for joining us. We'll be here tomorrow, same bat channel, same bat time. All the other good stuff just kind of comes and goes with the show. But let's see if I got my list of things here. A couple more things to talk about that we missed today, but we'll get them tomorrow. Ladies and gentlemen, tomorrow's Technical Tuesday. Be there for the show. It'll be a good one. As always, we'll try and talk about XRP to get the XRP crowd back from our 1,000-person show the other day. Really enjoyed that. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, we'll be here tomorrow. My name is Tom, otherwise known as Striking. We'll see you guys later.
No use in crying.